Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do chapter 30 for White Silk Lover. Sunday, May 2nd, 4 p.m. Tomas. I called the record company and had to cancel the concert. Once they understood what had happened, the public relations department went into emergency mode and took care of everything. Press release, blitz on the news programs, they called local radio stations, they spread the word. The police asked us a lot of questions. Maya worked with the hotel staff and brought me a printout with the latest post from the Sterling Lock page on Entertainment Wasteland. Her mouth grim and her eyes narrowed. It was an article dated and timed this morning, minutes after the pepper spray incident. It was titled, "Who is Coby Wood?" It felt like ants crawled all over my body. The new little darling of Sterling Lock isn't as innocent as he seems. I've contacted his parents, and did you know he was kicked out of his home for being gay? Well, it gets better. He lived on the streets. And do you know what he did to earn money? And no, it wasn't begging at street corners. He did something else. In alleys, or maybe I should say, other men did things to him for cash. My stomach was on a roller coaster, going down fast. In case you are wondering, he's only using Sterling for his own limited music career. Our selfish gay prostitute music wannabe songwriter thinks that his Mr. Lock is his own personal stepping stone to fame and fortune and life on a yacht. I'll tell you what, here's a list of phone numbers you can call to tell them that you don't want Sterling to have anything to do with Coby. Protect your idol, girls. Hitting the bottom of the coaster, my stomach heaved. One last detail. Sterling Lock is a phony. His real name is Tomas Blake of Dead Man's Butte, Nevada. More details in my upcoming book, Sterling Unlocked. You can pre-order it now, and I'll tell you everything. You can trust me. My name is Sam Blake. I'm his brother. Here's the phone number. If you don't make the first connection, keep calling. It had my name as number 1 and Coby's as number 2. Then a list of everybody in the band, and Les and Jerry, Joey, Albert, Maya, and a lot more people, and our phone numbers, and our email addresses. Coby didn't want anyone to know what he had to do, I said. Has anyone found Coby? What happened? There are signs of a struggle, the officer said. According to surveillance tapes, Mr. Wood never left the room, but he's not there now. What about Sam? Maya asked. Shortly after the incident at the arena, Sam came back here, went into the suite for 10 minutes, and came back out carrying several shopping bags. He was alone. What about Coby's things? I asked. His wallet, clothes, sling, and medication are still in the master bedroom. His laptop and backpack are on the deck, as well as various papers we assumed were from his classes. The emptiness in my soul turned into a cavernous pit. Where's Coby? I'm sorry, the officer said. We still don't know. We did find this on one of the pillows in the master bedroom. It was addressed to you. The officer held up 2 clear crime scene plastic envelopes. One held the song Coby and I had worked on back at Club Diggory, the one he had spent so much money on. The other held the envelope it had been in. The address was written in Sam's handwriting. On the back was a short note in Coby's handwriting. Tomas, I was going to wait for a couple of months to tell you about what I bought, but I'm impatient. Guess what I got you for a wedding present? Love, Coby. I didn't think it was possible to hurt more than I did. when Amy died. The emptiness inside me became a physical pain. Monday, May 3rd, 10 a.m. Tomas. The entertainment industry is reeling tonight after Sam Blake attacked his fellow performers, including Sterling Locke. Police have released few details, except to say that 3 people were hospitalized and Sterling's new boyfriend, Coby Wood, is missing and presumed dead. Sam Blake has a history of erratic behavior. The other night he attacked both Sterling and Coby at a party. He was apprehended trying to escape Nebraska and brought back to face charges. Sources close to the case say that Blake is currently held without bail as he is considered a flight risk. Mr. Blake was a regular contributor for Entertainment Wasteland, which he used to launch a nationwide phone blitz on his band and brother. Unfortunately, it delayed emergency crews from providing help to Mr. Blake's victims. The FCC has shut down Entertainment Wasteland pending a full investigation. The lawyers for Wasteland have said that the website was unaware of Mr. Blake's activities, and they will cooperate fully with authorities and hope to be online again very soon. Authorities have indicated that anyone who purchased something from Curtain Call 234 purchased stolen merchandise and will be contacted. According to law, the stolen property must be returned, and Mr. Blake will need to make full restitution. I'd heard enough. I shut my phone off. Entertainment Wasteland is distancing themselves from Sam to avoid lawsuits and massive fines, Joey said. The nightmare doesn't stop, I said. Have you heard anything about Coby? An officer told me, Joey said, that one of the theories they were working with involved Sam killing Coby, dumping his body off the balcony, and hiding it. Nebraska's a big state. It might take a while. I'm sorry. I liked him too. I was numb. I've lost my band, my concert, my identity, my friends, and my boyfriend. Sam destroyed me. Joey sighed. You need to know something. I wasn't even close to being dishonorably discharged, but I was charged with assault, but the judge threw it out. I was glad for the change of subject. What happened? A guy in a bar got a little frisky, so I twisted his arm and accidentally broke it, Joey said. Sam was right. I can get very angry. As much as not knowing what had happened to Coby tore me up inside, I had to remember I wasn't the only one Sam hurt. How's Albert? I asked Joey. We were in the conference room of police headquarters, sipping coffee and waiting. The room was painted in calming blue with a dark wood conference table and lots of cameras, one in each corner. The opposite wall had the classic mirrored wall. It showed the darkness under my eyes. I hadn't slept since Saturday night. The bags under my eyes could double as suitcases. Albert has severe retinal burns, Joey said. Serious enough for the emergency room to flush his eyes again, but not serious enough to stay the night. The doctors gave him antibiotic eye drops and told him to see an ophthalmologist as soon as he could. I'm sorry, I said. It's not your fault, Joey said. Albert was the good news. The pepper spray triggered an asthmatic reaction in Javier. They kept him overnight for observation. He has a very sore throat, is weak, and can't sing. The doctors advise him to take time off and limit talking and singing for a week. His wife has come out to take care of him, but Javier won't be up for any concerts. Will she take him home? I asked. Javier wants to stay. Let's hear the worst, I said. How bad is Les? Les is in critical condition, Joey said. The sudden shock triggered a severe heart attack, and they had to perform emergency bypass surgery yesterday. His wife has flown out to be with him. He has regained consciousness, but only close family are allowed short visits. His wife promised to keep in touch. What about the arena? I asked. Lindsay and Maya have taken charge of the arena and broken it down. Everything is underway to Des Moines or Chicago. I owe them, I said. I bet the record company is furious. With Sam, Joey said. He cost them a lot of money because of refunds, the arena fees, medical bills, insurance, not to mention the thefts and links, and the tell-all book. Maya told me that their lawyers got to work first thing this morning. I'd hate to be Sam. I sighed. We have another show tomorrow night we can't cancel on. We're down a drummer, bass guitarist, manager, Albert, and Coby. I'm thinking Wasteland will start a lawsuit of their own, Joey said. Sam made them look like amateurs. Did Sam have any auctions going on? I asked. A few, but they've been closed down. Knowingly trafficking in stolen goods is a crime, Joey said. Something else you should know. I've checked on the online retailers, and Sam's book is up for pre-order. It included a couple of sample pages. I think a few pre-release books have been sent out for review. The news keeps getting worse, I said. I don't think I can perform tomorrow. I don't think you have a choice, Joey said. It's my fault for bringing Coby out here, I said. I thought that being here would make him happy, and it did. It's not your fault this happened, Joey said. Maya's trying to find Jerry. Why did the police request to see us? I asked. More questions? The police picked up Sam hightailing it out of town, Joey said. He told them that as long as his lawyer is present, and as long as you are as well, he'll talk. If not, then he won't say a word. Those are his conditions. Do you think Sam killed Coby? I asked. We'll find out, Joey said. We're going to listen. I don't want you to say anything unless you absolutely need to. I want to jump across the table and strangle him, I said. But I understand. I know, Joey said. That's why I'm sitting with you. The police and the record company want us to look over the list of articles that were leaked and the auctions while we wait. Take a look. I know Joey meant well, but I couldn't focus. They were random words and letters. Coby, the song I had written for my boyfriend, flowed through my mind. I closed my eyes and softly hummed the melody. Mr. Blake, if you'd come this way. I opened my eyes, but the police officer wasn't talking to me. An officer led my brother into the room. Sam wore an orange jumpsuit and handcuffs. A woman walked with him, his lawyer, I assume. Joey closed the book with the lists. Mr. Sam Blake, I need to advise you that these proceedings are being recorded. Please begin your statement, the detective said. Wow, Tomas, Sam said, wiping his palms on the jumpsuit. You brought your bodyguard to protect you from scary me. I didn't move. I didn't say anything. Mr. Blake, you are aware that your actions put 3 people in the hospital yesterday. 1 is still in critical, the detective said. At the very least, you are being charged with multiple accounts of aggravated assault with a weapon, multiple accounts of petty theft, 2 instances of grand theft, and selling stolen property across state lines. Then we can add cyber harassment and retaliatory harassment. The DA has not ruled out embezzlement since you were stealing company property, or extortion since you sold back to Mr. Wood his own song. Also, if the patient in critical condition dies, you'll be charged with manslaughter at the least. Since Mr. Wood has disappeared, and evidently you were last to see him alive, we have opened up a homicide investigation. I would suggest that you take the matter seriously. The woman I took to be Sam's lawyer whispered to him, and then she said, I've advised my client that complete cooperation is his best option. Sam's eyes narrowed, and he gloated. You don't know how easy it was to make Coby pay more. Big, fancy college education, and he is so stupid. You've seen his ancient computer. It's barely Wi-Fi capable. It hardly even works, and when it does, it's very slow. He sent in a final bid on that stupid song. I saw it, recognized his email. I mean, who wouldn't? C. Wood 234. He's not very creative. I used my other account to bid it up $100, then another 100, then 1,000. He never even suspected. My sweet revenge against Tomas. Joy whispered, "Stay calm." The detective made some notes. "Please continue. What happened when you entered the hotel?" "Everybody thinks I killed Coby, but I didn't," Sam yelled. "In your own words, Mr. Blake, what was Mr. Wood doing?" the detective asked. "He was sitting on the deck, listening to his phone screaming at him," Sam said, smiling. "He hung up, answered call after call. Everybody told him how much they hated him." "Which was your doing?" "It worked better than I thought," Sam said. "Coby didn't even know I was there. I walked up and simply showed him a website. He didn't like it. He got up." "Can you be more descriptive?" the detective asked. "Coby threw up on me," Sam said. "Those were brand new clothes. I spent $200 on that shirt. It was imported from Egypt, and I spent more than 1,000 on the shoes. He threw up. My clothes were ruined. I pushed Coby away, maybe too hard. He hit a chair, knocked a bunch of stuff off the table, and fell on his hurt hand. Hit his head on something, and was bleeding. But he got up. It's not my fault he hit his head." I pursed my lips and my stomach tightened. "Then what happened?" the detective asked. "I might have shouted some things at him." "What, exactly?" "I don't know," Sam sneered. "Things like Les wanted Coby gone, how Coby ruined Tomas and his career, how Coby is a fake trying to sleep his way to the top. The entire band thinks he's a joke and hate him, stuff like that. He should go back to the streets because everybody knows what he did. He ran to the bathroom and threw up again. See, he was still alive." Joy placed a hand on my arm, her mouth grim. "Why did you say those things?" the detective asked. "Tomas had no right to fire me," Sam shouted, "so I made sure I fired his boyfriend." "You took your revenge out on Coby," I said before I could stop myself. Joey whispered, "Be quiet." "It was fun," Sam said. "Be specific," the detective said. "Kelly was right," Sam said. "Who is Kelly?" "Coby's friend in Vegas," I said. "It didn't take much to freak Coby out," Sam said. "I told him that Jerry and Les and the record company were furious and wanted to sue him. Tomas hated him and wanted to put a restraining order on him to stay away." "That's not how restraining orders work," the detective said. "Coby was so stupid, he didn't know that," Sam said. "I told him how Tomas hated him and was only acting nice because he wanted to have sex with him, and how everybody in the band only tolerated Coby and thought he was a joke, just like his own parents. He jumped over the balcony. I walked out of there, so you see, I didn't do anything to him. I put the little music slut back on the streets where he belongs." His lawyer whispered something to him. "It's already done," Sam said, and turned to me. "You'll never find him again, and if you ever do, Coby won't have anything to do with you." "I'm not clear about why you said those things. Can you explain further?" the detective asked. "Tomas owes me," Sam said. "Now I'll be richer than he ever could be." A complete coldness filled me. Coby would not want anything to do with me. Had Sam destroyed what Coby and I shared? A deep panic tore through my stomach. I shoved my hands in my pockets so nobody would see them start shaking. Joey took a deep breath. Javier and Les were in the hospital. Albert was in no condition to drive. Coby was lost on the streets somewhere and hated me. A tell-all book about me and the people dearest to me was about to come out. My own brother had betrayed me and stolen from me. Nobody could find Jerry. We had missed last night's concert, and the patron refunds would cost a fortune. Was I about to lose everything? Was this how Coby felt when his parents kicked him out? When he had nothing left? The only thing that filled the emptiness inside me was Coby. I needed him, now more than ever. I pulled up the picture of me and Coby with the sterling cutout. We had taken that a month ago. Coby and I had called each other every night, except last night. Coby had trusted me, and I him. Sam was wrong. What had Coby's note said? A wedding gift. Coby loved me, and I him. Coby and I needed each other to survive. I couldn't stay here. I stood up and went to the door. Joey said, "Tomas, where are you going?" I said, "Coby's out there. He barely handled being kicked out the first time. I need to find him and let him know that, this time, he's not alone." "You'll never find him," Sam yelled. "Never." His lawyer put a hand on his shoulder. "Your outburst is not helping your case." "Think on this," I said, quietly. "I hope your book makes it big, Sam, because the lawyers for the band, for me, for the record company, Entertainment Wasteland, the hotel, and for Coby when I find him, will sue you until you don't own anything. Enjoy prison, Sam, because when you get out, you'll be living on the streets. You're not as resilient as Coby, so I doubt you'll survive." "Sam, what did you get out of it?" Joey asked. "A lot of money," Sam said, "and I humiliated Tomas." "And hurt Albert," Joey said. "I'll never forgive you." I switched to the Sterling Lock accent. Falling in love with a man who worked himself off the streets sounds like something I would do. Wait, I already did. I don't think you destroyed anything, except your life. Now who's alone? Goodbye, Sam. Joey, I took her arm. We have a band to reorganize, a concert to set up, and a boyfriend to find. Once we got outside, I turned to Joey. "I'm going after Coby." Joey stood in front of me. "That's not an option. You have to take Jerry's and Les's place. You have to run the band, including the concert in Des Moines, and the last one in Chicago. As much as you want to, you can't leave. Too many people depend on you." "I have to find Coby," I said. "He could be anywhere in these streets," Joey said. "Anywhere in the state. By now, he could be anywhere in the surrounding states." "He'll go to Vegas," I said. "He has to. His recital's Friday." "Let's look at it logically," Joey said. "There are 3 main routes to Vegas: through Wyoming and down through Utah, through Denver and the Rocky Mountains into mid-Utah and down to Vegas, or south of the Rocky Mountains through New Mexico and Arizona. He has no phone, no ID, no money, no transportation. We have no way to contact him. I know you want to find him, so do I, but you are the only person who can pull Sterling Lock back together." "I don't know how," I said. "Then you better figure it out before we lose everything," Joey said. We walked to the limo. As always, Joey was right. Coby needed me, and the band needed me. Coby could be anywhere. He didn't have to go back to Vegas, but his schoolwork meant a lot to him. I needed some advice and help. One person might be able to do that. "Are you ready for a long shot?" I said, and called Maya. She answered on the second ring. "Maya, I need you to go through Les's things and find Monica's phone number." Thank you, everybody, for joining me for Chapter 30 of White Silk Lover. I appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Peace.